right. So in this level, you are introduced to another cool method called find items. So you remember that in the previous courses, you used to have find nearest item that would only return one item, right? It will only return one item. It would be the nearest item. But now you have something more cool, right? Because this method does not just retain one, but it returns like an array. And an array is just a collection, right? Like a lot of those items. It return all those items in an array. So they will be stored in a comma separated list. So it will be just like a list of those items will be returned in find items. So whenever you want to access them, you have to loop through them. We have to go through them, right? So enough of the chit chat. Let's jump into the level and let's see what they want us to do. Great. So you're told that one germ is safe, right? So, but you know the answer. Always take the second. So yeah, that's great. It's super great. So items here is storing a list of all the items that are near us. And if you want to know what each of these mean, you can just go here. You're told that it returns an array of items, right? Like coin, germ, health potion, within eyesight, blah blah blah. Now you want to check if the length of items is greater than or equal to two, right? You want to check if you have more, right? If you have more than one, right? And check if you have more than one, right? Because if you have less than one, then you can't get the second because you want to get the second. The other ones are poisoned. You're told just the second is not poisoned. So first you have to check if the list is greater than two. So we use the len. So len is a method that returns the length of the list, right? Like how many items are in the list, right? So we use that function. It's a method. Some people choose to call it a function, but it returns the number of elements, right? So we'll say here we're just going to say to return the number of items, right? So length, and let's just put items in there. So if that length number using these logical operators is greater than not logical, relational operators, is greater than or equal to um, 2, right? If we have more than 2, then we do this. Now, want to move to the second item. Now, remember, the second item will be at index 1, right? Because computers count from 0. So if you want to access, let's say you want to access like the first item. So here, if I say first item will be items, and then square braces 0. This will be the first item. And likewise, second item would also be equal to items, and then we put 1 here, right? That will be second item. Third item, oops. Third item would also be items, and then 2 here, and so forth, right? And this goes on. So if you want to move to the second item, what we need to move to this, right? We need to move to this part, right? That's the second item. So we can delete this. So we want to write it cleaner and can delete this. So now we have our second item like this. Now, how do we move to the second item? You use the hero.moveXY. Pretty sure you already know that. And we'll just move to second .pos.x .xd. And then now we also move to second .pos.1 like this. And then here, now we need an else. Now, in the event that we don't get the second item, right? In the event that we have less than 2 items, means we need to move to the center mark. So just the center mark, that's exactly where you are right now. So that'll be at 4034. So that'll also be at 4034. And I think you would be done if you did that. So let's try to run it and let's see if everything is working. All right, brilliant. Okay, this is now take a look at this. Take a look at this, right? Take a look at this. Each time the hero is moving, right? Items 1, that's second, that's the second item, right? Items at 1, that's the second item. Item at 0, that's the first. So you just want to pick the second item, right? Hopefully this helps.